What is up, people? What is up, people? This is Abraham Walker with Ask A Walker, your Northern Virginia real estate agent. Today we're talking about 14 things you should consider when you're buying a new construction property. So we're in Loudoun County. Right over here we have a gorgeous view of the mountains. We have the Beaver Dam Reservoir right along over yonder. This is just a gorgeous setting here, and I actually stopped because I'm filming new construction property tours today, but I wanted to talk to you all about some things, some tips and tricks, right, to help you get what you want, which is a new construction property. Okay, so the first thing you want to consider when you're buying a new construction property is the buyer's agent you're using to purchase your home. Builders will pay an agent a real estate commission, right? So every builder throughout Northern Virginia will pay an agent a commission. So you don't have to worry about that, so get yourself some representation. What are you looking for in that representation? First off, you're looking for somebody who is skilled with dealing with the builder. Okay, so the first thing you want to consider when you're buying a new construction property is the buyer's agent you're using to purchase your home. Builders, they have a track record of dealing with builders and their sales rep. Next up, you're looking for somebody who isn't as emotional, right? You need somebody who's going to negotiate on your behalf with a builder who is very skilled. This isn't like dealing with a listing agent, someone who does a few transactions here and there. This is somebody who is trying to make the most amount of money possible from this deal, and they're trying to get it from you. The last thing you want to think about when you're considering an agent is someone who has some type of team, maybe an admin, somebody who can really keep you on track when it comes to deadlines. Because when it comes to builders, if you miss one of their deadlines, it can cost you money, real money. The second thing you want to consider when you're buying new construction is talking to a mortgage lender up front. Yes, the builder's lender will be able to give you some deals that most lenders won't be able to compete with, but you're going to be shopping around. There's different developers, there's different property types, there's different incentive packages. You want to know before you get to the development how much your monthly mortgage payment could be, how much money you may have to bring to the table, how much your closing costs will be. You want to know this up front before you talk to a builder. The main reason why this is important is because the new home sales rep is going to try their best to give you some type of idea on how much your payments are going to be, and they really have no clue. They have no clue. Another reason why you want to talk to a lender up front, if you walk into the new home development knowing how much this entire process is going to cost, you're not going to be so emotional about whether or not the numbers are going to work. You already know, okay, this is the highest I will pay, and this is without using their lender. So if they are offering you $15,000 in closing costs, $25,000 in closing costs, some type of incentive package, you'll be able to have an apples to apples comparison with the lender you already have a relationship with versus the builder's lender. The third thing you want to consider is researching the builder. Now, in Northern Virginia, there are about 31 big box builders throughout the region. So depending on where you're buying will determine who you have access to. But a lot of times the property type that you're choosing, whether it's a condo, a townhome, or a single family home, will determine which builders you're actually going to be working with. Once you know what builders you're going to be working with, it's time to do a little research on your part. Some of the ways you could do research is really online. You could check out the Better Business Bureau to see what people are saying about the builder. I will say though, usually on the Better Business Bureau, their reviews are going to skew towards the negative, right? And if they are negative, a lot of times, from what I can see, it's sometimes a misunderstanding of the contract, which is another reason why you want to use a real estate agent. Now, another way to research a builder is through Google reviews. Google reviews, I would say, is probably the largest collection of reviews that are going to span from positive to negative and will give you a more accurate representation of how the builder performs. Another thing to consider when you're researching builders is how many developments have they actually completed in the region, right? Are they an out-of-town builder? Is this their first shop? Also, how many units have they already delivered in the development that you're looking at? It can be a little risky if you're one of the first people to move in a new development from a new builder who's new to town. The fourth thing you want to keep in mind when you are buying new construction is researching the neighborhood. Oftentimes in Northern Virginia, our new construction developments are on the outskirts of any area. So like a lot of them are in Loudoun County. And if they are in Fairfax County, Arlington County, Prince William County, then they're kind of infills where there's already a development around the new construction development, and it's maybe like 15, 50, it's a smaller development, right? Do the research about that community. Do the research about what amenities are available, what creature comforts are available. Know what you're buying into, because you're not just buying the property, you're buying into the area. Something you want to consider in your research is the school ratings. If you have school-age kids, you also want to find out if there are any commuter options if you have to commute to work. And you want to make sure that you know what the HOA fees are. If you're buying a condo, it's possible that you could have a condo fee and an HOA fee combined, which is going to increase your monthly expenses. The fifth thing you want to consider when you're buying new construction is the lot placement. Where is the lot located? If you buy a property that's a corner lot, then you may actually lose some of your backyard because your side yard is going to take up so much space. If you buy a lot that's in a cul-de-sac, then you may have a smaller front yard because of the curvature of the lot itself. You also want to make sure that you find out what's behind your lot, right? So we have some people who reach out to us after the fact. They've already put a bid on a property with a builder and their lot placement sucks. They didn't actually go and see the lot. They saw the lot online and they just selected from the online view. No, you have to get out there, see the lot. Now, if you're out of town, this is what we've done for clients who are buying sight unseen. We'll go out and we'll actually do a video tour of the lot itself. We want you to see what's in front of the lot, what's behind the lot, so you can know what you're buying. Another thing to keep in mind about lot placement, you want to find out where is the owner's suite. Is the owner's suite off to the front of the property? Is it off to the back of the property? What is your view from the owner's suite? What is your view from your dining room? What is the view from your living room? You want to have a good understanding of what you're going to be looking at when you're using the rooms that are the main living areas, right? Now let's break this down by property type. If you are purchasing a single family home, when you're thinking about the lot from the front, right? This is the front exterior. You want to find out what the slope of the lot is. You also want to find out how big are the parking pads. Now, for the backyard, you want to find out, do you have a backyard? Also, what is in your backyard? I have a client who bought a property in Potomac Shores, and the house next door to theirs, their backyard has the main drainage system, so they're not going to be able to put a fence on their backyard. My clients luckily chose a lot that didn't have that drainage problem, so then they could fence in that entire backyard. You want to find that out. Now for my townhouse buyers, you want to find out if this is a rear loading garage or a front loading garage. And you want to find out the size of the parking pad. Again, similar to the single family homes. Lastly, you want to find out when it comes to the backyard, are you going to be able to put a fence in the backyard? How much green space do you actually have back there, if that's important to you? Okay, so for my condo owners, sometimes we have these condos that are 2/2s, which are the more popular ones in Northern Virginia. You want to see on your main living level, what do you face? Are you just going to be facing a parking lot? Are you going to be facing some outdoor space? Are you going to be facing a school? These are all important questions you want to consider when it comes to lot selection. The sixth thing you want to consider when you're buying a new construction property in Northern Virginia is the floor plan. So when it comes to floor plan, you want to think about your current floor plan first. How do you currently live? Do you like that layout? If the layout you have right now is too small or it's too large, then don't buy that in the future, right? You want to think about your current needs and your potential future needs, right? So maybe you're thinking about aging in place. Maybe you have kids, young kids, and you want to think about where are they going to live or how are they going to use the home as they get larger, because you don't want to find yourself in a position to where you have to buy just because your kids get a little bit bigger. Another thing you want to think about when it comes to floor plans is, where's your furniture going to go? Can your furniture fit in this current space? If it can't, are you okay with buying new furniture? Kind of on the same conversation as furniture is storage. storage. Some of these new construction properties have no storage whatsoever. What are you going to do about that? Are you going to go to a minimalist design? Are you going to use some of the finished space as storage? Are you just going to purchase a storage space somewhere else? That increases your monthly budget. These are things you want to factor into your floor plan. The seventh thing you want to do when you're buying a new construction property in Northern Virginia is read all of the fine print. When you go into a new home and there's a new home sales rep, that representative works for the builder. They're going to give you marketing material that talks about the property. That is only marketing material. It has no bearing whatsoever on the contract. One of my clients last week just put a Stanley Martin condo under contract. It was 56 pages of documents they had to sign. That means you should take some time to review the documents the builder is going to send you when it's time to negotiate your deal. Please read everything. As your real estate agent, we review the contract, and also I highlight some things that you should know, right? Or you should see, or some things that we may want to negotiate in the contract itself. And I still recommend to my client, please review the contract. Read everything. It's important. The eighth thing you want to keep in mind when you're buying new construction is that everything is negotiable. Financing is negotiable. The price, even though the builder says the price is negotiable, until you ask, the answer is always no. The upgrades and fixtures are also going to be negotiable. The last thing I want you to keep in mind when you're thinking about things that are negotiable is the builder will have some incentives for quick move-ins. So these are properties that are already built, they're already spec'd out. You won't get to choose any designs. These properties are the best, or can be some of the best value in the entire development, because the builder is pressed to get these properties sold. So if you're looking for a deal, reach out to us about quick move-ins in the region. We have a great list of all of the available properties. Choosing your upgrades is the ninth thing you want to consider when buying a new construction property in Northern Virginia. I have had clients who are on really tight budget who tried to go through the design phase or the design center phase, where you pick out all your specs, all of your upgrades, and they tried to do the bare minimum. That is good. That's good. It's good to stick to a budget. And if you're going to be staying in this property for a good length of time, you want to consider what are some upgrades that may cost you more money now, but will provide you with a better return in the future. One of the upgrades I highly recommend is always purchasing more square footage if it's available. The additional space usually comes in two options: bump outs and rooftop terraces. So a bump out is where you have, let's think of like a box, and then you could add like little sections to it to widen the space, elongate the space, right? These are usually great value adds because they're not that expensive compared to the other square footage you're already purchasing, and it's going to provide you with an advantage when you go to sell your property and you're competing against your neighbors. The next upgrade I recommend is fourth level build outs. So in townhomes usually have an option for a fourth level. Either that's a fourth level that doesn't have a rooftop terrace, sometimes it's a fourth level with a partial rooftop terrace. Whatever it is, while it is going to be a little pricey, get the fourth level. Those fourth levels add a big value add when you're comparing against your competitors, which is your neighbors, right? And if your neighbor doesn't have a fourth level, then someone, even if they don't use those fourth levels, they're going to see some additional value, and they'll usually pay much more than it costs you to put that extra floor on your townhome. Expecting delays and planning accordingly is the 10th thing you want to consider when you're buying a new construction property in Northern Virginia. Now, I haven't had many delays when it comes to most of the builders that are building inside of Northern Virginia. So this is really more of a cautionary tale that you should make sure that the builder is actually going to deliver your home before making any decisions, okay? So if you have to sell a home before you purchase your new construction property, make sure that the home is actually there. Make sure that the foundation has been poured. Make sure that the rough ends are finished. Make sure appliances are installed. You don't want to sell your property before your next property is available. Another reason why you want to be more cautious when it comes to building your home and taking those deadlines seriously is the builder, while they are reputable, while they have a lot of pull or influence when it comes to contractors, they are still susceptible to the weather. They're still susceptible to the environment, the government, the market. So they don't know. They want to make their money as quickly as possible as well. So make sure you are really close to the end of the building process before you make any concrete moves, okay? The 11th thing we're going to talk about is asking for additional building materials. This is towards the end of the process, right? Usually builders will stash away, usually in the basement area, or in a townhouse, it'll be in the garage. They'll just have some extra building materials. Do not throw this away. And if your builder doesn't offer this, ask for it. Ask for it. You will be surprised what happens in a few years from now if you need to replace a piece of tile or a floorboard, or you need to know what paint you use. Try to keep that stuff in a secure place, right, inside your property. And if it's not there when you move in, ask the builder for some of the access material, okay? Managing your expectations is the 12th thing you want to do when you're building a new construction property in Northern Virginia. When you walk through the model home, it's very likely that they had all of the updates that are available for that model. The property you're buying probably doesn't have all those updates. So when you see the property a week or two before closing and it doesn't look like the model home, keep in mind, the model home is fully furnished. It has all the upgrades. There's a custom paint job. You're gonna make your home your own model home through time. It's gonna take a little time, okay? So we have 2 more items on our list before we move forward. Let me know in the comment section if you've already built a home, or if you're going through the building process, what do you wish you knew that we haven't covered on this list? If this list is complete and thorough, also let us know in the comment section so that anyone watching this video in the future will know this is a good resource for them. Getting a home inspection, really several home inspections on your new build, is the 13th thing you want to do when building a new home in Northern Virginia. Builders are not perfect. They're not trying to get over on you in most cases, but they're using several contractors, several tradesmen, electricians, plumbers, sheetrock. They have so many people that are a part of this building process. Some things can be overlooked. You want somebody on your team, on your side of the equation, that's looking at the details to make sure that everything that you purchase or that you believe you purchase is in the property. It's easy to confuse the fact that the county, right? The government will review or look at the property to ensure that some aspects of the building are correct. But they're not looking at specifics, right? They're just want to make sure that this building won't cause you any harm. They're not making sure you have the right windows. They're not making sure you have the right countertops. They're not making sure that all of the plugs work. They're not making sure that the water pressure is right. There's things that the county inspector, when they're inspecting the building, they're not going to look at. That's not their job. You have to hire a professional that's looking out for your best interests to inspect the property. You know what? Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do another video about the types of home inspections you should do on your new build as it goes through the different phases. Keeping all of your documents is the 14th thing you want to do when you're building a new home in Northern Virginia. You should have a physical file at your home with the marketing materials that you receive when you walk through the new home, the contract that you negotiated with the builder, all of your financing information, all of the warranty details. Most new home builders will do some type of orientation that walks you through all of the aspects and inner workings of the property. You should also keep all of your home inspection documentation as well. Keep everything in a nice file because you will need this information in the future. I don't know why you'll need it, but you will want to reference it in the future. It's just smart to just keep this information just tucked away, nice little file. Okay, so that is it. Those are 14 things you want to do when you're buying a new home in Northern Virginia. If you're ready to start your real estate journey, there is a link in the description to the Perfect Home Questionnaire where I will meet with you and we'll discuss and answer any and all of your real estate questions. I hope you all are enjoying our new construction video series, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.